we don't have to pretend anymore. It's true. The evolution of friendship in your 20s is wild and it's difficult to navigate. So these are my friendship hot takes, and I'm really excited about this episode because it's like, how do we create soul fulfilling friendship that takes into account the inevitable changing landscape of platonic love, how everything is changing with social media and socialization, and how we make friends and how we keep friends, and our expectations of other people in our life are constantly changing, especially in your 20s. So oh, hey, Skinny Dipping Divas. I missed you. Sorry that I'm coming on here a little bit late. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kayla Rose. I'm the host of Skinny Dipping. Of course, we are new to YouTube. If you're finding me on YouTube, hey. I was not expecting the Art of Devotion episode to go that viral. I actually have been crying so much about it because I was so nervous about starting YouTube. If you're new to the YouTube space and you're new to the Skinny Dipping community, hey guys, I'm Kayla Rose. We have 200,000 plus subscribers across platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and I'm just so incredibly grateful for the community that's already here. And yeah, I love you guys. I feel like some of you are like, I've never seen your face before, and I'm like, oh, hey. Hey, I know you only hear my voice, but hey, happy to be here, Diva. And today I'm so excited because we're going to be talking about friendship. And I asked on my Instagram story, I was like, hey, what do you guys want me to record tomorrow? And here we are. This was the #1 voted episode. It was my friendship hot takes. The other episodes will get recorded because they're all in my back pocket. I've been doing some deep research on the default mode network, which I'm really excited about that episode. But today, the friendship episode just feels right. And also, I really struggled to get here to record this episode. Yesterday, I got ready all day, was so ready to record, had written all my notes. I was so prepared, all my gear charged. And then it starts pouring at 1 p.m. the rest of the day. And I'm like, oh, guess I'm just not meant to do it today, and trusting. And then waking up today and trying again, and it starts pouring again. And then my neighbor is really loud. Not my neighbor's really loud, but they are doing yard work and Anyway, now we're recording inside, and I always hope to be a living, breathing example that, even if things aren't working out and you are having moments of self-sabotage or just the elements aren't working out, you can still take action. You can still go with the flow and just trust that you were supposed to have that redirection, And today I feel like I was supposed to have that redirection because now we get to record inside. It's really cute. I have my little books. I have this little disco ball, and life is good again. But damn, I just had a little mental breakdown because I was like, why can't I record this episode? But I'm just hoping that spirit and the universe wanted to channel certain things through me that required me to be here in this exact divine moment. And even when I feel stressed out, I really feel proud of myself on my healing journey for constantly being able to reframe and bring myself back on track and just be like, everything is working out for me. Even if it seems like everything is against me, no, everything is fucking working out for me. And I was meant to get redirected so many times to be in this moment. So anyway, we're going to get into this episode about friendship because that's why we're all here today. How do we create these soul-fulfilling friendships? I have lots of things I want to talk about. So these are the chapters, okay? We're going to talk about just my story and friendship for anxiously attached girlies like myself, and where friendship is in your priorities and values. Number 2, the second chapter, we're going to be diving into making new friends, because everybody always wants to know, how do you make new friends? This is a very commonly asked question. Just know if you feel this way, you are not alone. It is a weird landscape right now, and I have ideas for you, actionable ideas. And then we're going to talk about friendship expectations. These are when some of my hot takes come in because I think expectations of friendships are interesting. I think they are ever evolving and changing, and they are also individualized to each person in each friendship. And finally, of course, this is a spiritual and mental health podcast. So we're going to be talking about the overall spiritual lessons of friendship and just what they've taught me as a 26-year-old over the years in my early 20s, because babe, I've loved and I've lost. And that teaches you shit. If you've ever loved and lost, especially platonic love, or you've even just grown apart from people, which we'll talk about later, which is so normal and just so a part of growing up. It's it just teaches you so much about yourself. And it teaches you so much about the ways that you need to show up for yourself and where you rely on people and where you don't. And yeah, I'm just really excited for this episode. So before we get into it, make sure to just hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button wherever you're listening on. If you're new to the Skinny Dipping fam, go ahead and comment below just like where you're listening from. Or if you have I'm planning guests right now for 2026. Think like your favorite influencers, your favorite wellness people, up and coming musical artists, up and coming actors and actresses. Like comment your favorite people below that you would love for me to interview, because I will be going to LA and New York next year and I cannot wait to have more amazing guests on for you guys. And yeah, of course you can like copy the link, send it to a friend. That is actually so incredibly helpful for the algorithm and for me. Like if you share on your Instagram story just organically, or you just like copy the link and don't send it to anybody, or send it to a friend, or send it to your cousin, like it helps the podcast so much. And I just want you to know, like, I appreciate that this is my work more than anything. Like I will never not be like, oh, so grateful that this is what I get to do. I get to research the topics that I love. I get to dive deep in. I'm a Scorpio rising, if you don't know. I'm an Aries, so this is my moon right now. How we doing? But also I'm a Scorpio rising, and I love to get deep, and I'm so grateful that this is my work. And yeah, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this, okay? Well, I don't need to keep yapping. Okay, friendship for the anxious attached girlies. Let's get into it. I just feel like I need to give a little backstory, a really quick backstory on my relationship to friendship, because everything that we have, it's a relationship to that concept, right? To the way that we interact with it. And my relationship to friendship has changed exponentially over the years. Like, for example, I used to center my life around my friends. When I was younger, I grew up like an only child. I was raised an only child on Maui, but I have 3 half brothers that are older than me. So I basically grew up alone. And I think growing up alone makes you really feel anxiously attached, specifically to friendships. Friends become family. And I used to center my life around others. I feel like I used to lose myself in others. And I still can, and I need to be mindful about that, but not as much anymore. And then, that was like before in my high school years, up until I was about like 2021. And still in college, I found more independence, but I still really did center my life around friendship. And then things happened, that broke certain parts of me. I lost certain friends that I loved. I had friendship breakups. We had that casual, naturally drifting apart from some people that we care about that is inevitable as you grow up. I had trust broken by people that I thought would be friends for the rest of my life. I had boundaries crossed where if I couldn't be the person that they needed me to be and they had me on a pedestal and I didn't live up to that expectation and I fell off that pedestal, I noticed that people crossed my boundaries because they would have, maybe they would say something to me that I was like, actually, that's actually not okay that you like want to speak to me like that. And so all these things happened, maybe from 20 to 25 that were really influential for me, that really made me realize that I needed to change my story around friendship because I was putting so much weight on it and it was breaking my heart. And I think as the pendulum does, it swings the other way. And in this case, it definitely did. I definitely went into hermit mode, healing mode, and I didn't prioritize friendship like at all. And I had my, my core people, but I had a couple years there like that were, the throat chakra. The throat chakra. Why don't we want to say this, queen? But no, actually, I had a couple years there where I was very like hermited and not really prioritizing friendship. And, some people are more happy in solitude. For example, my mom, like she loves just like her own company. I, on the other hand, am an Aries, like, and Gemini moon. Like I am meant to be social, and it's something that truly lights me up. So, and then I kind of came out of it and I was like, okay, I really just want to, prioritize soul fulfilling friendships. And now at 26, I can truly say that I just love my friends. Like I love my friends so much. And I know like the circle is small, but it is strong. Like for example, like I took all my friends to Mexico for my birthday last year. And this year we all went to Kauai for my birthday. And it was the same exact group of people. And that's something I'm so incredibly proud of because I love long-term friendships. I love nurturing relationships. And I love my people. And I'm still open to making new friends, but it's not as much of a priority. But At this point, I also think that I am learning to be more open. So this leads me into the first chapter. This is for the girlies that care too much, okay? This is for the anxious attached girlies, or maybe you're anxious and avoidant and you beat back and forth. This is for you. I think it can be really easy to either completely deprioritize friendship because you want to go all or nothing and you want to completely focus on yourself, or you give everything to your friends and you lose yourself in the process. And it's like a top priority because you want people to choose you. You want people to care as much as you. You want people to show you that you're important. And I know that was a huge root of, so many, honestly, so many of my subconscious shadow wounds is like, I want to feel important. I want to feel loved. I want to feel chosen. And that's just like this anxious attachment story that so many of us have. And I realized it is important to, I imagine like life is like a priority list, okay? And wherever you put your priorities and you put your values, that's where you subconsciously choose your actions towards. So if you really value friendship, and then you have something that you want to work on for your own business or your own personal project, but your friends ask you to hang out and friendship is at the top, and maybe your purpose is number 3 and your art is number 3, you're going to choose your friends. You're going to choose the fun, the quote unquote fun, over what you truly need to do for yourself in that moment. And that isn't healthy. But it's also not healthy to completely be like, I don't need anybody and I just want to be independent and focus on myself and have this era of hyper focus and fixation on myself, because it's like, oh my God, this rain is crazy right now. I wish you guys could see this. It's pouring. Is pouring. But it's also not healthy for us to be like, oh, I don't care about anybody, because that is hyper individualistic. And that's what, especially the Western society in America, teaches us that we need to be. And I believe that being hyper individualistic actually disempowers us. And having community and having true connections that you can count on, that empowers us in a country that would rather us be independent and lonely and miserable and depressed because we feel disconnected from others. And it is important to find a good medium. So where is friendship on your list of priorities? That's the real question. I want you to go to your journal sometime this week, and I want you to actually write down your priorities, write down your values. What is number 1? For me, my number 1 value right now is honestly taking care of my health. So that means gym. That means, going on walks. And my mental health, that means feeding myself. And sometimes that needs to be my number 1 because that supports it all. Maybe number 2 is purpose. Maybe number 3 is connection. And that means relationships and friendships for me. I want you to just go and get clear about your priorities and your values, because when you get clear about your priorities and values, every decision and choice and action moving forward from there becomes easier, because you're moving from this place of integrity where you're like, my actions, my choices that I'm making, because it's free will, right, babe? It's free will. It's up to you. They align with my priorities. And it's okay if you feel like, oh, they don't align with my priorities. Oh no, am I falling off track? That's okay. Anytime you fall off track, it's just an opportunity to recognize and notice. Don't guilt yourself. Don't blame yourself. Don't shame yourself. Just look at it and be like, okay, I need to go reevaluate, write down my priorities, write down my values, and get clear about what I truly want and what is truly important to me in this lifetime, in this current moment, because your values and priorities are going to change over time, babe. So I do this literally once every 3 weeks, once a month. It's not a set thing, but whenever I realize that I'm feeling off track in my choices and decisions, I feel pulled where I should spend my time and what's important to me and what are my priorities, I always go back to my list and I make a new one, because we're always evolving. And I think friendship and connection and community kind of go all in one for me. I think that's at number 3 right now, because I realized that there was a part of me that's been neglecting that because I've been prioritizing work and money a lot. And that's been a priority, which that's a fine priority because that supports so many things that I want to do. And money and making money is definitely up there for me. And I'm not ashamed to say it, honestly. But what I will say is I realized I needed to reprioritize friendship, connection, and really planning things with my friends and not flaking and sticking through. Because I was getting in this vibe where I was like, I just need to do what feels best for me. And just in this a little toxic feminine flow where I was like, I'll just cancel. And my friends were okay with it. And they're in that vibe too. And sometimes there's just seasons of that. But also I just think we need to normalize like making plans with your friends and actually sticking to them and realizing that life is really all about a girls' night. Like make a girls' night with your friends, like have a paint night, a wine night. Like me and my friends went out dancing the other night. DD'd them. I didn't drink and I just went out and danced and it was like so incredibly fun. And it's like, do things with your friends. Like if you guys don't have time during the day because work, like do nighttime craft nights or wine night, or me and my friends love a little gardening moment. You know it. So yeah, I just think that you need to reevaluate where friendship is in your values, because it's incredibly, incredibly important. And that's going to help everything moving forward. And knowing that some chapters and some seasons, it'll be at the bottom of your priority list, and that's okay. And other times it needs to be one of the top three, because I just think it's one of the greatest joys in life, like having friends, loving your friends, giggling with your friends. Let's get into chapter 2. Maybe you don't have that right now, or you used to have that and you don't have that, or maybe you just don't feel like it's possible for you. Like this is the chapter for you. Okay. We're going to talk about making new friends and making soul aligned friends, because yeah, we don't need fair weather friends at this age. Of course, it's good to have like friend acquaintances and people that you see in third spaces or you see out, or, you know, you have mutual friends in common. But true friendships, like people that you prioritize and make time for, which like it's important to be picky because all of us are like busy with work, pursuing our dreams, doing our own life, like having maybe like a partner or something like that. So it's like, how do you make friends that are not fair weather friends? How do you make friends that are actually like amazing friends that you genuinely connect with on a soul level? First of all, even when I'm saying that out loud, even though I do have notes and actionable tips for you, I think you need to just kind of put it in the universe and say like, I want to meet somebody who, not my nail, that's so bad, but I want to meet somebody who I truly connect with, who truly feels like a soul sister, who truly feels like somebody I was meant to meet. And I really think relationships are karmic and almost predestined in that way. I know that when I met my best friend Sydney, we met at a dance class. We literally showed up wearing the exact same outfit, and I just felt this connection that I needed to ask her to hang out. And sometimes you just get that nudge. Listen to that intuitive nudge. And if the other person doesn't seem like they're one to take action, you need to take action and just ask to hang out, just even once. Because if you feel that calling, like you guys have a past life together or you have a karmic relationship, like you probably do. You probably do. And all my friends like that I have now that are my best friends, like when I first met them, I felt this crazy connection to them. Like I felt like I knew them forever. And that's karmic. That's past life. And you have to just trust in that. And trust that God and the universe and source and spirit, like they don't want you to be alone. They don't want you to be lonely. They don't want you to have to do it all on your own and hermit and not have fun in life. Like God, the universe, source, spirit, like your ancestors, your spirit guides, your spirit team, they want you to have fun, babe. They want you to enjoy life. Sometimes there's just a season of a sacred pause where you're a little bit of a hermit mode and you're a little bit in, you know, non-social mode, and that's okay. But it's up to you to take action and align and put yourself out there, and then also co-create with the universe. Number 1 on how to make friends is, I believe that if you follow what you love, love will follow. If you follow what you love, friendship will follow. If you follow what you love, connection will follow. All my best friends, for example, Sydney, who I brought up earlier, who is my best friend. We've been best friends for like 6 years now, 6 years now. She is just literally my soulmate and understands me better than anybody and always knows what to say. And we met in a dance class. Both of us were showing up, following what we love, and we found love. We met each other. And I really believe that's how you make friends. My best friend Kaimana that I was talking about earlier, we met doing musical theater and musical theater camp when we were 13 years old, and we're still best friends, and we were following what we loved, and love and connection and friendship followed. Or for example, my best friend Anna, who lives here on Maui, I was doing a photography photo shoot, which is also one of my passions. I was doing a job for this company called Pure Lay. Friend Sydney, I had her scout the models, and one of them was Anna. And then we met that day like 4 years ago, and now we're best friends, because afterwards I was like, do you want to get pizza and smoke a joint? And she was like, yeah, girl. And I was like, okay. And we just hit it off, and it just felt so easy together immediately. And I was following what I love. I was following photography. I was following, a job that lights my heart up. I was shooting for a brand. I was super excited, and she was following what she loved. She was modeling. It was one of her first jobs that she had done professionally. And when you follow what you love, love will follow, connection will follow, friendship will follow. And when you put yourself in a place of opportunity to create friends with similar interests as you, I really do believe that the universe is going to put somebody right in your lap. Number 2 is you need to make an effort to be in community and be in third spaces. This creates opportunity. I said this before, but when you put yourself out there, when you go to different spaces, I go to breathwork, I go to women's circles, I put myself in third spaces, community spaces, Pilates classes. I've met friends at Pilates classes. Like, do what you love, show up in third spaces. Maybe it's not your favorite, thing like dance like I have, but maybe it's like you go to a breathwork class, you go to a yoga class, you meet somebody, you compliment their outfit. Like, it's really that easy to just start chatting with somebody. And you have to understand that most people are really sweet and really friendly. And when you put yourself out there, they usually are looking for that connection too. Or maybe they're not, and you'll feel that and you'll pick up on that social cue and move on. But most people are open. And if you make an effort to put yourself in the places where you can meet somebody in community spaces and third spaces and classes and workshops, you're gonna meet amazing friends, amazing people, because you're creating opportunity for the universe to show you what is possible. And that's all we can really do, right? We can ask, and then we can align, and then we can act. Ask, align, act. That is the key to getting literally everything that you want in life. Ask, align, act. And then you just trust. You just trust that the timing, it's all about timing. And number 3 on how to make friends, I want you to also understand that you don't always know people right away. And I think when you're making new friends in your 20s, it can be very exciting, especially if you feel like you have a lack of friendships. There can be this like, oh, I'm really excited, and like this energy of like, oh, I just really want to like connect with them. And the truth is, you need to be discerning, okay? I'm not coming here to bum out your mood. I want you to make friends. I want you to make soul connections. But to make soul connections, you have to be discerning, my love. You have to have discernment for people's intentions and really see people for who they are, and know that you don't know somebody. Like, when you meet somebody and you know them for 3 months, you do not know them. You do not know them yet. And knowing that, like, I'm not saying that to like cut yourself off from people, but you don't have to like give everything to people right away. You don't have to act like how you do with your best friend with somebody that you just met, even though it might feel like fun and easy. I would just say, like, have discernment always. Okay, these are my friendship expectations hot takes. Also, look, I got this gorgeous journal from a follower, and I love supporting my followers, small businesses. And this one in particular, it's called Lost and Found Journals. If you guys want to check it out, she is amazing. And this is like, I'm obsessed with this journal. This is not sponsored. I'm just like tactily, is that a word? The tactile of it, I'm obsessed with. And also like the color, the green, it's so pretty. Friendship hot take number 1, normalize growing apart from people and still loving them. I think in my early 20s, I thought, oh my God, I either have to like end this friendship and it's gonna like break my heart and I'm gonna be crying forever because I care so much about the people in my life, and I get really attached as an anxiously attached girl. But the truth is, what I've learned in my early 20s is it's really normal. It's really normal for you to grow apart with people that you love, even people that you thought that you would be friends with forever. And it's so funny because I feel like in friendships, in relationships, in romantic relationships, we know that breaking up is a possibility. It's almost like an expectation of something that could totally happen, and you go in well aware of that. Where friendships are a little bit different. You don't go in thinking, oh, I'm going to lose this person. You go in thinking, oh, this is going to be a friend for the rest of my life once you connect. And if you're like me and you care a lot, like, that's just how it's going to be. And you need to know, like, it's okay for people to grow apart. People come into your life. It's like the classic cheesy quote, like a reason, a season, or a lifetime. But it's cheesy and it's classic because it's true. I don't know, the sooner that I just got more comfortable with that, like, the less scared I became about really putting myself out there and making friends. Because of course, like, if you're scared of losing friends, you're going to be scared of making friends. So it's important to clear out those subconscious blocks and just normalize growing apart and loving them anyway. Number 2, okay, friendship hot takes and expectations. Let's talk about flakiness, because I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but because me and my friends are on our spiritual journeys, we tend to be like, oh, this is what I need to do that's best for myself right now, and we all totally honor that. We're like, oh, if you need to cancel, no worries. You need to reschedule, no worries. You need to do what's best for you, no worries. And I do believe that still, and I still want to hold on to that sentiment. And at the same time, I'm practicing being less flaky with my friends. I need to be a better friend in ways, because I can be flaky. I can be like, oh, I just don't really feel like it today. But the truth is, like, yeah, some days you don't feel like it, but like you can't always make your decisions based on your mood, because sometimes you go to hang out with a friend and you leave and you feel leaving inspired and more joyful and more energized. But what I really want to do is I want to find the balance. It's like, how do we create this balance between grace and accountability? Because the truth is that if you keep flaking on your friends, you're not going to have any friends. And vice versa, if people keep flaking on you, like, you're just not going to have that connection anymore. You're not going to have that same trust. But also at the same time, we need to understand when people are going through it or needing space. So this is just a very nuanced topic that I just wanted to bring up. I don't necessarily like have the answers, but I just wanted to talk about it. It's nuanced. It's like, give yourself grace, give other people grace. People have things going on. You have things going on. Sometimes you just need to cancel. Sometimes you need to say, I just can't do this today, and that's okay. But if it's every single time, eventually you just don't have connections anymore. Self-isolation is real, especially in mental health. And I think it can be really easy to be like, I don't want to be around anybody right now, right? I don't want to be around anybody. I'm not in a good mental space. I don't want to bring anybody down. I don't want to show anybody like how truly tender I feel right now. And the truth is, that's not how you heal. You heal in connection. You heal in community. We are so taught, especially in America, especially in Western culture, to hyper individualize ourselves to the point of actual depression and anxiety. And I think all of our mental health would be so much better if we really were like, okay, I don't feel like hanging out with my friends right now, but I'm going to make an effort. I'm going to make an effort to go to this third space. I'm going to make an effort to go to this community space. I'm going to make an effort to make plans and show up and do it, even if I don't feel like it. Because Hitomi, one of my favorite YouTubers, she always says, take opposite action. Especially with your mental health, you can't depend on your mood to make your decisions when you struggle with mental health, because it'll tell you don't do anything. And yeah, sometimes you need to rest. Sometimes you need to rot to recover, and that's okay. And we give ourselves grace. And other times you have to be like, I need to pull myself out of the mud right now and go see people and have some giggles. My third hot take, noticing who stops reaching out when you stop reaching out. This was a hard pill for me to swallow. My energy is fucking sacred, and my time is sacred, and where I choose to put my love is sacred, and where you choose to put your love is sacred. So it's like, why would we, people that care a lot, who want to reach out, who want to make the effort, have to respect yourself enough to be like, okay, I'm not going to hate on this person. I'm not going to unfriend them literally in real life. Like, I'm going to accept that we're growing apart. I'm going to love them from afar, and I'm going to move on, because I really just noticed, I was like, wow, when I stopped reaching out, a good handful of people did as well. And not in a way where I they communicated, oh, I have stuff going on. That's so different. If you slide in later and you're like, oh, sorry, I disappeared for 5 months. Like, I love you and I'm thinking about you. Like, that's so different. Yeah, when people are just like full on, like they just don't make the same effort as me, like I'm going to match your level of effort. Sorry, I'm a fucking Scorpio. Like, I will match your level of effort. I am not that evolved to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep making an effort when you're not. No, fuck that, girl. Sorry, like if you're not making an effort, I'm not. People deserve to get access to you when they put effort in. So that's my hot take on that. And I know it's also nuanced, because of course people have things going on, and that's not how I feel for every single friend, every single person, every single individual. It's different. Okay, this is my friendship hot take number 4. I see a lot of people being like, if your friends don't comment on your social media every time you post a project or something new, they don't actually support you behind closed doors and they're talking shit. No, I just don't stand behind this sentiment. I'm sorry. Like, of course you want friends who like comment and reach out and support you in the really big moments. But if you're somebody like me who's always releasing new things, who's always sharing on social media, like, I don't make my social media for my friends. Like, I don't expect my friends to be my main audience, my main viewership. I'm creating social media for the people that follow me, that are in my community. So with that being said, I just don't agree with that sentiment at all. And I think we need to stop having crazy expectations of our friends to be our fans, because our friends aren't our fans, they're our friends. And number 4, these are the overall spiritual lessons of friendship that I've learned. Friendship breakups are karmic. They are karmic as fuck. And they are so transformational. And they are always meant to be. Everything really does work out for you, even when it seems like it is the worst thing in the world and that, you're losing a soulmate, you're losing a longtime friend, or you're growing apart. It can be really painful and it's really karmic. I really see it whenever I see a friend of mine and they're going through an intense friendship breakup or a separation. The truth is there's so many karmic lessons in it for them, and they probably lived a past life together where, they didn't get to fully complete their soul contract and they needed to complete it in this life. And next, we talked about this. Of course, it's cheesy, but friends come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Just know you can't recreate the moment. So have appreciation for that nostalgia and just continue to realign yourself. What we said before, ask, align, and act. And you will find those aligned friendships or that aligned friend group or that community that you've been craving. The next thing is some seasons are just more solo. And you have to trust in that. I've had those seasons before where I feel called to the sacred pause, where I feel called to hermit mode, where I just don't feel like there's anybody in my life, or maybe my friends are really busy with work or their own lives. And there's just a season of more aloneness for me. I used to see that as, oh my God, I need to scramble, make plans, or I need to go into shutdown like hermit. And, I would go teeter-totter, pendulum swing, all or nothing, back and forth. But the truth is, when you center yourself in that sacred pause, you realize it's exactly what you need in that moment. And it'll probably only last a couple months and then you'll be back to your social era. And that's okay. And just trusting what that has for you. I know that when I personally am in a sacred pause and I'm not in a social era of my life, usually that's when music comes through. That's when I write songs. That's when I write poetry. That's when art is calling me because I am clear enough. I am almost empty enough to be a channel for the divine. And I really just do trust in those sacred pause seasons and those hermit seasons now and know that they will pass. And yeah, just trusting them so deeply. Just my takeaway from today is the AAA theory. If you want to create those soul fulfilling connections, you need to just ask for what you want, journal it, align, make sure you're showing up to the places and spaces that you have potential to meet people, and also aligning yourself to friends that are, that feel right in this moment and making an effort with them. And then act, actually show up, actually make the effort to be the friend that you wish that you had, because as you begin to do that, you will realize that you will attract those types of people into your life as well. And also trusting whatever season that you're in, and not judging yourself for it. The judgment does nothing, babe. Like literally just trust the season that you're in and that it's exactly what you need. Okay, make sure that you, subscribe. Also, I'm going to Mexico in December and I have 3 spots available for this retreat that I'm being a guest teacher at. If you're listening this far, I'm doing breathwork. I'll be doing Eft Tapping and manifestation workshops, but then it's in Mexico and it's going to be wellness, yoga, surf, all levels. There's going to be surf instructors. It's like, I'm going to surf small waves. That's my vibe. Longboard, small waves. And yeah, it's going to be yoga, breathwork, surf, snorkeling, girlhood, sister circles, healing, amazing food, and it's with Luana Retreat. So I have 3 spots. So if you want to come with me, if you want to come hang out with me in Mexico, DM me on Instagram. Let's play. Also, yeah, at Sundays KK on Instagram, at Skinny Dipping Diaries. If you want to join the Soul in Progress community right now, we're doing an EFT tapping challenge that you can win $111. Yes, you heard that right. Just from doing 10 days of EFT tapping. They're all under 10 minutes. The, Soul in Progress community has breathwork, yoga, Pilates, EFT tapping, journal prompts, place for community, place for you to share your hobbies, your art, your habits. It literally has everything, and it's something that's so incredibly special to me. It's only $10 a month, and there is a 10-day free trial, so I'm going to link that below if you want to go check that out. And yeah, just share this with somebody. If you share this with somebody or just like recommend skinny dipping in your week, like literally word of mouth, momentum is literally everything, and I'm so incredibly grateful for you. And don't fucking forget that you are inherently worthy. Okay? You don't have to do, be, or achieve literally anything to be worthy. And I will continue to remind that for the rest of my life. Okay. I love you guys.